Alright, what's going on YouTube? Today we've got a very special video in our hands. What you see right now is the League of Legends Alpha client in your face. Basically what this means is this is how the League client's gonna look after, I don't know, when the new season starts, I believe. It's gonna look exactly like this. It has a lot of cool new features that I thought you guys might be interested in checking out, so let's take a look at some of them. I got admitted into the alpha version of the client a couple of weeks ago, but the client was kind of buggy, but right now I feel like it's in a good enough spot that I can show you stuff in it and like take a look at some of the different things that you can do inside the client and how different it is to the old one. So let's take a look right now. What we got right here is the new patcher. Well, the new intro screen, or however you want to call it. Over here you got the region and the language. I currently have it in English. There's a way to change it. I might do a video on that later on, but for now, just this is the intro screen for everything. You got disabled login animations and music. I usually keep this disabled. I don't like it that much. It's kind of messy, I don't know. And overall the patcher looks a lot cleaner. So there's not much to talk about here other than like the little notifications bubble and yeah, so let me just sign in and we'll take a look at the client. Okay, so this is the new client right here. As you can tell, a lot of stuff has changed. It's kind of like with the patcher, same idea. It's a lot more minimalistic. It's a lot more about having big images, big text, and not having a lot of subspaces on your UI. So the chat got completely revamped. Over here we can tell who's online on the sidebar right here, and the chat's also very different. Back in the day you used to get like a bar that goes from this side of the screen to this side of the screen. Now it's just this chat bubble over here. So if I want to speak to someone, all I gotta do is like scroll through some of my chats right here. I want to eliminate a chat, all I have to do is just get rid of it like this. Conversations work pretty much the same way they used to, but like the main difference is the way you pick them over here. So if I want to start a conversation with this person right here, they would appear on the text, on the like little chat bubble over there. They don't have like a small bar over here. I'm not sure how this is going to implement with clubs once they do add them, because currently there are no clubs. Let me see. That's the bug thingy. Yeah, clubs are not implemented into this chat. That's the one thing that's missing. Clubs are currently not in the alpha version of the chat, but they will eventually be implemented for beta. I'm pretty sure this client is going to be launched with the game once the new season starts. So we'll see about that. Right here we can check out the new champion rotation. I think it gets opened up on our collection. Over here, I'll explain all this stuff in a minute. You probably know most of it, but it looks very different. So over here we got the home screen. We all know how this works. It takes a little bit of time. This is the current event, so that's what we have featured. Over here we have some news and some skins, which you can get. As you can tell, this doesn't take up a lot of the screen like it used to. Like the other layout was a lot messier and like things were a lot bigger. Over here we have like the really big important thing and then some small kind of articles and skins that are currently trending. So there we have that. Over here we've got stuff that has to do with the alpha version, to like send bugs and discuss about the alpha client and stuff. So there's one thing, but not to worry too much about that. And over here we have the patch notes, which is great that it's actually implemented into a client. Like I've been waiting for this for so long. I hate like having to open a browser to check this out. It's great that I can like take a look at this while I'm like waiting in queue or something. I mean, it's not that big a deal to open a browser, but it's nice that it's in the client. Over here we got our profile page. So on our profile page, as you can tell, it's a lot more streamlined. It doesn't have the good old page looking kind of border. Well, it was awful actually. It looked really bad, but that's gone. It's no longer a thing. As you can tell, clubs are disabled for now. I can't click on this. And yeah, so you get the champion mastery, kind of like with the old one, but it looks a lot cleaner. Over here we got a match history, and same thing applies. I think they put a little bit more information. Actually, no, they didn't. They kept the information pretty much the same. But it's important to notice that now I don't have to go on to open a match history on the web to take a look at the stats. I can just do it right here because I think they made an important change on the client that allows this to happen. So there's that. If you want to take a look at it on a browser, you can just view it on the web right here. Over here we got an overview, stats and whatnot, and about damage dealt and stuff. So yeah, good stuff. And there are the graphs that are kind of important. Everyone kind of likes to take a look at those. So yeah, there's that bit. Oops, how can I exit this? Oh, over here. Yeah, there's this X over here to like close stuff. And here we get like ranked, where we ranked on solo queue. I don't know if you know this, but the reason why they're usually in the ranked in the other client, you would get dynamic queue, and then you can change to 5v5s and stuff. All this stuff is gonna go away. We're not gonna have 5v5s. All you're gonna have is clubs. So since clubs are not implemented yet, I'm not sure how this is gonna look overall, the ranked interface, but it's probably gonna be something along the lines of this. Pretty much. So let's take a look at some other stuff. So that's profile right there. They changed, they separated profile from collection, which includes runes, masteries, and whatnot. So we'll take a look at those in a minute. Here we have our total mastery score and the champions that I currently own. All this good stuff was in the other client anyways, but like I said, it's a lot cleaner, a lot smoother for the eyes and whatnot. It looks a lot better. And there's a lot of all the space, as you can tell, all the space in the client's used, which is a very cool thing. Back in the day, you had the black border, and then under the black border, you had the yellow kind of pagey border, and inside that, you had more borders. So there was a lot of the client that was just not, a lot of the space for the client that was just not utilized at all. And they made it really, really cool, very slick looking client. If I click on this champion, we can see there's his lore, and pretty much everything about him, style, difficulty, and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. What happens if I click on a champion that's used often? So and you get the video right here as well. That's sweet. So you see, it's a lot more streamlined and it's not as laggy. It's great. I think I love the champions portion of this. Now we get to the runes part, and it's also revamped, pretty cool. So here you get every single rune you can put on your rune thingy. I don't know what do you call that. Anyway, here every rune pages you can just every rune page you have, you can just look through them over here. It's kind of like weird at the beginning, because back in the day you had like the little tabs. It kind of gets a little bit hard to get used to, but with time it's pretty intuitive of an interface as far as runes are concerned. Masteries are pretty much the same as we have on the client. They look very much equally, I don't know what you'd call it. And finally the spells. Oh, finally put the cooldown over here. In the other client you don't get the cooldown, so you have to look them up online. But that's great. That's pretty much it for collection. Then on the eSports tab, you get information about, well, currently I think this is not working out on the alpha client. Okay, so it is working. All right. There we have the standings for the World Championship going on right now. I suppose some of this stuff is going to change once the LCS starts. I'm not sure how they're going to implement this for every region, because it would be pretty cool if I could take a look at LCK games, at, I don't know, NA games. It is a lot of like different regions, so I don't know how that's going to be implemented once it actually goes live. But we'll see. We'll see about that. Let's jump over to the loot tab. It's the same thing as we have right now on the other client. Everything, as you can tell, is a lot like squared, a lot more squared. I don't know. The other client has a lot more curves and lines and stuff. But I think I like it a lot more like this. It looks a lot better. And if I wanted to craft something, I could just do this. So let's see, what can we craft here? It's not too expensive. Let's craft something. Let's disenchant that Lucian because I already have him. Let's craft Janna. I don't actually have Janna. So let's see how that looks once we craft it in the new client. Alright. The little ball with the runes here is used plenty along the client. We'll see when we get into a match. If I hit upgrade here, that's the little animation. Pretty cool. And then I hit unlock permanently. Alright. Pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as system. There's no change as far as the system goes, but there are changes to how it looks, pretty much. Let's jump into the store for a minute. The store is exactly the same. Well, actually not exactly the same. But it looks a lot more... It fits a lot more with the current theme of the client. It looks a lot better, in my opinion. I don't know what this little bell does over here in the top corner. Over here we got some options. Just you can check this out once the beta goes live. There's really not too much to this. One problem is that with sound, you... Oh no, they added sliders. Perfect. Perfect. In the latest patch, the one before this, you could only mute the sound. Now I can actually enable SFX and enable music. I hate music in like the client because I'm usually listening to my own music, so I just turn off music. Champ selection music. Okay, turn that one off. Great. So they did fix that. That's cool. Alright. Going back to the store. I'm sorry I carried on with something else. What's this? Account. Okay, this are all of my purchases. Alright. Pretty cool. So if you want to do refunds and stuff, there you go. Anyway. This is pretty much functionally the same, but like I said, it's a little more streamlined, looks a lot better. Skin stab. Get the little skin thingy. Not enough RP, feels bad, man. Oh my god, they put Haunting Nocturne again. Cool. Anyway, those are skins. Gonna get carried away by looking at all the cool skins. Gameplay only includes runes, I think. Overall, there's nothing else. Oh well, boosts too. You can get IP boosts and whatnot. Pretty cool, pretty nice. Over here it's like all the crafting stuff. I think it will be listed under this. And then finally you have the bundle thingy at the end. So yeah, a lot smoother on the eyes. That's the cool thing about the UI, is that it's a lot less like cluttered. So that looks great. And now for what we're all waiting for. Let's hop onto the play screen. Now I don't know if this is gonna be animated, the background here, but currently I don't think it looks too good. I think I like the other one better. The old loading screen for game. But I mean, it's not a big deal. So over here we've got the invite screen. You can invite by name, whatnot. You get the pending invites. You can just do it through here as well. You can change the game type. This is kind of like what I've messed myself up with, because sometimes I want to go do solo queue and then I just hit, like, I choose my roles and then I hit find match. You actually have to come over here and change the match type, which is really I don't know. To me, it felt a lot better to first choose the match type and then go into the loading screen. But now you go into the loading screen and then you change the type that you're playing. So if I want to play a custom game, I would have to click this. It's currently unavailable. And co-op versus AI, for example, PvP and whatnot. So let's do a draft pick for now. Here I choose my roles, kind of like with the other one. I can say which role I don't want to play. Say support because I'm an asshole. Nah, just kidding. Support's great. And then you find match. And the cool thing of this is that, remember in the old client, if you're doing something else, you don't know how long you're in queue, or if you dodge a game, you're not sure how much the penalty is. Right here, you get the timer for that, which is awesome. So if I go somewhere else and do something else on the client, you can see that I'm still finding a match, and I can cancel it without having to go back to the lobby. So that's really, really sweet. And once we get into a match, I'll fast forward when we get to a match. You'll be able to see how the drafting process works and how the client looks on the draft. So, see you when the queue pops. Alright, so there's a little queue pop animation. Over here we got the timer. It's a little circle going down. Just accept at the last moment. Okay, this is the map, Summoner's Rift. You're probably familiar with that one. And here we get to choose the champion that we're gonna play. I'm not sure why this. I think this is bugged out. Yeah, because I can't even like take a look at every champion. Hang on. Maybe if I clear it, there we go. There's a little bug over there, not a big deal. And here we can display all the champions. Pretty cool animation. That's a ban. Yes, we got banned. Now it's our turn to ban. Thankfully we can ban. So let's just get rid of Syndra because we hate Syndra. Alright, and you can see you get like the little animation, I mean the little image on the background over there. And then the animation of it like getting banned and stuff. Looks pretty sweet. And yeah, these are the champions that I currently own or can play. So I can pick my intent over here like this. Not a big deal. Let's wait until the ban phase is over so we can pick some champions. What else have we got here? Runes and masteries pretty much go the same way by the name. If I want to change a rune or mastery, again, you have to click over here to close this stuff. And you can change your page over here and whatnot. So let's close that up.
Life is too short for fear.
The ward picking thing is like this. Looks pretty cool the way you change the ward. Looks a lot better than the old system. Summoner spells, you get the little list over here. The way it opens up looks very nice. So if I want to change that, it looks just like the ward. And now we're in the picking phase. You always get this really cool kind of centered on the face of the champion thingy in the middle. So like Gnar right there is getting picked, so it looks, it's really just in the center of the whole thing. And there's, you know, the names of the players in the teams doesn't really obstruct too much on the rest of the UI here. So that's very nice and good looking in my honest opinion. Okay, I'm certainly not picking a Momo, that's that's for sure. So I want to pick a marksman. I will, however, dodge this game. I'm sorry for the people. Oh, this is something to notice. Back in the day, if you type here marksman, you can marksman. All the ADCs would come up, but that's no longer a thing. What they did is they put it over here. So if I press this key, I get all the marksmen. So say I play Vayne, you can notice how it changes in the background and whatnot. To the champion I'm currently hovering. So let's say I want to play Graves. So I'll pick Graves, and that's it. Other than this, once you get into the actual game and the picks and bans have gone through, there's no difference. Everything's exactly the same. This is the chat. You can come over here and just type some stuff. It's exactly the same chat as the old one, with the difference that you don't have all this lines and stuff cluttering the UI. And this right here is the chat. Pretty much looks the same way. Nice people saying hi back. I'm sorry I have to dodge at this, guys, but I'll dodge because I want you to see something very cool about the client. Something I mentioned earlier about the timer on queues and how it changed. So I'm gonna exit this game right now, and then I'm gonna enter the client again. So see you guys in a minute. Okay, so here we're back. Since I got punished last game because I dodged, right? So I should be punished with Lever Buster. If I go back into the queue and I try to hop into a match again, I hit find match. Because you abandoned recent game during Champion Select or declined too many games, you're currently unable to join the queue for 5 minutes. Then we hit OK, and then as you can tell, it tells you how much you're blocked for without locking the whole UI up. Now back in the day, if this happened to you, or like if you dodged a match or you picked not in time or whatever, this timer would be all over the UI and everything else would be grayed out, and you couldn't access the rest of the client while you're blocked. And now they changed that, so that's a very, very cool thing they did. So that's pretty much the last of the things I wanted to show you about the client. I think currently it's... oh well, there's the summer icons as well. You can choose them. Too bad back in the day, well, the other client, you could see a small description of what it actually... let's see if I hover over them. No. You had a little description over on this side of the screen which told you where the summer icon came from. So that's been removed apparently, but yeah, that's pretty much about it when it comes to this client. So thank you so much for watching. Expect this client to be utilized when the beta comes out by pretty much everyone that opts into it. It's not that far away actually. I think they're going to implement clubs on the alpha, and then after that it's going to be live once the season is over. So it's pretty much around the corner. I'm super stoked, and I hope you guys like the client as much as I do. I mean, it's a lot more of an improvement. It's a lot better than the old client for sure. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.